Hi, everyone, and welcome to this beautiful studio here at Shambhala Farm. I'm so excited to have a very dear friend and beautiful woman and mama as my guest today on the podcast. This is Kali. So, welcome, Kali. Thank you
Thanks,
for coming
Chrissy.
in.
Thank you so much. And hi, everybody.
We're really excited because we are good friends. We speak about many topics, as you do with your nearest and dearest. And so many times when we're speaking, we've both thought this is stuff that other women should be a part of. Like, this should be a conversation with other women. And specifically because we're both in our 40s, um, it's something now where we're speaking about let's share the wisdom. Let's share our wisdom with those that are in their 30s or their 20s. So we've been talking about coming together and having a chat for quite a while. So it's exciting to finally, yes, make it
Be
happen. So
here.
thank you. Um, and before we go any further, I'm going to just use my notes on my phone because I can't remember all the things about my beautiful friend. Isn't that sad? But yes, she has many things. So this is Kali from Birth Nectar is her business. She is a holistic doula and she specializes in Ayurvedic pregnancy and postpartum care and pregnancy body work, which I can attest is amazing, by the way. Also experienced in womb health and yoni steaming, supporting women holistically with their cycles and their fertility. And as she's also an amazing single mother, raising her two beautiful children in nature and following her passion, or I would say your many passions, you're a multi passionate woman. So, yes, beautiful to have you here and have your insight, your wisdom. I always, to backtrack on like where we've come from as friends and women in the community. I met Kali back when Birdie, my daughter, was only maybe one ish. So that was 5 years ago, and Kali did my closing of the bones ceremony, which I had, not close to the birth. It was quite a while actually after the birth, because I don't think I knew about it. I don't think I knew what it was, and then somehow maybe someone told me about it, and about your work. So I remember meeting, that's when I met Kali. So that was many years ago. And we were both, I would say, completely different versions of ourselves when we first met,
Absolutely.
which is what's so cool about women friendships, especially when you can have them for a long period of time because we get to see each other kind of shed the many layers and the versions and change, right? And grow.
Yeah.
So I've seen that
Yes.
in you. And so that was my first experience with my beautiful friend, and she was amazing with that ceremony. And then we didn't see each other for a while, hey? And then she ended up coming to live on the land that we have a few people that live here on our property. So we're lucky to have a community. Um, and I know all the women out there are so jealous because, of course, you want to live close to your bestie.
It's the
Can attest,
best
it's
setup.
pretty cool. Yeah. So we've been through lots of things together. But when we met, when we met up again, you were pregnant with your daughter.
Yes,
Yes,
Billy. Yeah.
Billy.
hmm
Um, and so, and then they moved onto the land, and now we've gotten much closer, and we've had experiences together, such as raising toddlers and, just navigating being in our 40s while also raising our children. She was very instrumental, as in supportive, when I was pregnant with my second, when with my son Cosmo, and I was going through a lot of just deep dive into what I really wanted for his birth. And it was massive time for me of like really letting go of some old old versions of me and really coming to the truth of what was right for me, which was really challenging. But Kali held such a beautiful space for me. She truly supported me while I did not like at the time. I don't know. Were you doing I mean, you were a doula, but you weren't necessarily, it wasn't like I was like, I didn't hire Kali, but she was just this amazing woman who walked alongside me and would just ask me beautiful questions that helped to inform my decision.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I just recently finished my next level of training, and which was to do around birth attendance. And so it was
Yeah.
perfect timing. It was a beautiful way to
Yeah.
practice what I've been preaching and see it unfold within you and in front of me and in a really organic way.
It was very
Yeah.
organic, wasn't it? Yeah. Yeah, so she helped kind of walk through some of my fires, throughout that, and then was
Mm,
very instrumental as well to I called on her a lot postpartum with Cosmo.
mm.
Yeah, since I didn't have a midwife or anything like that after, so she was very you were very, like you were just there. You were in it with me.
I was just one fence away.
That's right, thank God, hey, it was
Yeah.
beautiful, I was
It's
so spoiled.
very
So
precious to remember and to hold that together.
yeah, it
Yeah.
was a very special time that kind of bonded us, I think, really
Mm,
deeply. So
mm.
that's kind of like our background. But then as we move through, our lives, there's so much that comes up for us, obviously, around I think just kind of always deconditioning from what things should look like and how we should be living in our 40s or just how we should be living full stop as women, right? Like that's such a
Yeah,
big one for both of us.
absolutely.
So I feel like that's a lot of what when we like look at the overarching view of what what we talk about a lot, it is around how do we stay how do we continue to stay as close to our own truth as possible while navigating motherhood, while navigating external opinions, advice, if you will, noise,
Mm,
and yeah, and things that are happening in our own bodies, like changes that are happening, or like I'm still breastfeeding my son, but I'm 48, and so
mm.
we can get into some of those like more specific topics, I guess, later, but
Yes.
yeah, I'm talking a lot. I'm talking a lot now. So, anyways, this is a podcast for also Kali to speak. So I'm going to be quiet. But if there's anything you want to speak to that I just, with the
Mm.
intro.
Sure. Thank you for that really beautiful introduction. And to add to that, I guess that we have quite a unique, very special experience in our lives right now where we are two women in our 40s, both raising children, both doing things just slightly differently outside of perhaps the mainstream way of life.
Yeah.
Um, Not in a way of being rebel. It's just that that's what we're both been drawn to do.
Yeah.
And we're both in our 40s now, raising toddlers and navigating, very heart based businesses and
Yeah.
big decisions around this next season of our life. And there is so much noise out there to try
Mm.
and cipher through.
Mm.
And I think that living on land as we do in such a beautiful kind of sacred hidden away space that we get to listen to our own voices more and to each other. We're in
Mm.
that like-minded place of being.
Yeah.
And has really helped us both to decipher truth and discern what is actually going to serve us or even the greater public women out there that are
Yeah.
listening and what's not. So we've
Yeah.
really been sitting a lot with that together and
Yes.
some really big topics came
Yeah.
up that we were like, whoa, we need
All
this
right. It's
needs to
time
be
to
out.
actually get a microphone in front of our faces and
Yeah.
share it with the wider community because we know that we're not the only ones that
Mm,
are grappling with different discussions like this or even just questions. And we're, I think, so privileged to have each other. And I know that, I'm sure there's other women out there that have lots of beautiful, close women friends. But even in that, sometimes, as you've even, talked about a little bit recently, is like, even within that, sometimes there's still blocks there and you can't really say the thing you want to say, or you might
mm,
not really feel like it's appropriate or it's not the right crowd for it, or you're looking for something outside of what's the norm or what's the norm for your friends, even
yeah.
norm or, what people are doing or what's the crowd doing. And that's kind of where I think both of us, I was kind of joking to Kali yesterday about like, I feel like my soul was like, you need to come and just do things a little bit weird and different in many aspects of your life. And I'm like, okay,
Mm,
we'll do it over here. We'll take the road less traveled, and it is uncomfortable. Yeah,
yeah,
it is uncomfortable. And there's judgment that comes with it and people going, what are you doing? And, you can feel that. You can feel that energy from people, can't you?
absolutely.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah, I'd love to, if it's okay to talk about, I might just turn this down. Sorry, we have our
Yeah,
aircon.
it's
I'm starting to get really cold.
getting
Um,
chilly here.
sorry, we have to get our comfies. Um, I'll turn it back up if we need it.
Yeah.
I might just from that point of view, kind of like that topic, maybe if you don't mind sharing a little bit, like I think a lot of women would relate to being a single mother
Hmm.
and just that's a whole other, thing that we could talk about for how many hours. But, for you, your experience, moving from, because you had Mirakai, your beautiful son, who's now 13.
Yeah, he's 14 now,
Oh,
just turned
that's
14.
cute.
This
That's
lovely
fun. So
teenage
she's got
handsome boy.
teens and toddlers.
Teen and toddler.
Superwoman. Um, so yes, so just kind of navigating, and especially maybe and maybe if you want to, or if you feel comfortable talking about it, like how you've had to make those really challenging choices, um, about actually this family unit with this man does not actually serve me anymore,
Mm.
and I need to separate.
Mhm.
Um, and like I feel like it's like very courageous and very brave to have to make those decisions while also having, having a little person that's very dependent on you, every, every choice we make affects our family and our children. So that's, I'm sure that would have been just come with like such a heavy weight to have to like, but also I'm sure there was like a lot of clarity as well, like that relief of, okay,
Yeah.
this actually is the right thing.
Mm,
And I don't
mm,
know if you want to speak to that at all in your
mm.
experience with, you know, with either situation or,
Sure.
yeah.
Yeah. I guess the most recent one, so Billy's dad, so the father of my daughter, um, it was quite a very deep journey for me of changing trajectories of my family generational line. And
Mm,
so, because of that, I unfortunately attracted the wrong type of man into my life because I was basing my decisions on something that was probably trauma related.
mm,
Not to go into heaps of detail, but I feel like Billy landed for me because there was a 10-year gap between my children. I didn't even think I was going to get to have her. That was
yeah.
the other thing. She came. I
And how,
knew
can
she
I
was
ask how
coming.
old you were then?
I was 37 when
Yeah.
I fell pregnant with Billy. 37? Yeah, 38 when I fell pregnant with Billy.
Mm-hmm.
And her pregnancy journey for me was one of such deep empowerment, and it was the middle of COVID as well, and there was many hurdles to bounce through in that, as well as a relationship that once I did fall pregnant became apparent quite quickly
Mm,
that it wasn't going to be a healthy environment for us, due to his own health issues as well. And I guess for me though, the medicine in that is that the realization landed so deep, and I literally had the words come through in my birth space, which I had her in the lounge room in our home. I did have a private midwife there, but it was very much in my own space and an undisturbed
mm,
experience. So I went so deep, and yeah, the words like "this stops here" came through my
mm,
mouth. I actually think I yelled it out into the birth space. And then she landed, she birthed, and everything fell apart from there.
mm,
Quite quickly, I had all of those realizations come through, and it was a pretty unsettling environment to be in. And I had to make a choice one night. I was sitting on my lounge room floor with my daughter in my arms. Luckily, my son was not there that day, and I just had this like gut heart feeling of like you just have to get up and walk out right now, and you will be okay.
mm.
And I just quietly, peacefully told my partner then that that's what I was doing, and grabbed Bubby and we left. Um, and it all happened from there.
Yeah. Wow.
So it was a real like deep layer of, yeah, much courage and just trust. That was the thing. I just had to trust
Yeah.
my body and the message that I was being given in that moment,
Yeah.
that was my intuition telling me, this is your moment to change right now.
Yeah.
And you're going to be held and supported in that. So
Yeah.
I've done that, and I've still been mothering and running my own business, and yeah, working against the grain of, there's that whole mentality that single mothers are, like a lower part of society,
Mhm.
or there's some shame or guilt around that. And that's one thing, I guess, to share from my experience is that it's not always the woman's fault. And she, like, for me, of course, like I had never envisioned that for myself. I
No.
was so sure that that's not what was going to happen
Yeah, of course.
second time around.
Yeah, of course.
So for that to happen, like, broke a million pieces of my heart, of the family dream.
Yes, of
And
course.
yeah, so it's one of those things that you just don't think is going to happen. And
Yeah.
there's a bigger trajectory
Yeah.
there.
Well, thank you for sharing that because I know
Yeah.
that's really deeply personal. But I actually feel like, oh, I think I'm going to cry already.
Mm,
I appreciate you sharing it because I know as your dear friend, like how you have felt that shame and that judgment from others.
mm,
And so I want to honor and recognize that you have spoken it out loud. And what you said is so powerful is like, remember that there are two sides to the story and that not everyone gets, that I don't know, like when we speak about the single dads and like, yeah, sometimes you see them with their kids and everyone's like, oh, he's such a good dad. And you're like, well, it, how do you know what's really going on? Like
mm,
what happened to this woman that she made this choice? How
mm.
great is this person if she's made this choice to, especially when the kids are so young,
Yeah.
and like, so when Billy was a baby and you're
Yeah.
like, this is better to leave this person and be alone than to be with this person. So
Yeah.
I just wanted to say that. Sorry, that made me feel emotional because
Mm.
I know how big it's been, for you guys. And I'm so in awe of how you just, you do keep showing up for your children, for your women, for the mamas that you support. And I think it's awe inspiring. So, and
Mm.
that's for any single moms out there that feel that, like what you said is really I think is really true, is like that feeling of like being lower on the totem pole by society. And is there a way that we can, actually lift up a little bit? Can we actually lift them up out, and that takes community,
It
doesn't it?
does. And just people not assuming
Yes.
that a certain thing has happened, and that she doesn't have her life together. In fact, it might be a complete opposite, that
Yeah.
that's what it's taken to get her strength and her life together. And
And to make sure that her children are safe.
yes, to make sure her children are safe and to just live in a place of peace and
Yeah.
safety. And I do believe that, and which is why I'm openly sharing about it today, is that it's actually given me such strength and superpowers, which will filter into my children's lives and
Yeah.
my work, my line of work of supporting women through a huge rite of passage in their life, such as birth and coming into motherhood
Yeah.
season. I feel like, yeah, the strengths from my experience and my childhood even
Yeah.
have created such fine-tuned
Yeah.
intrinsic senses in certain ways and ability to sit with women in hard places that
Yeah.
maybe I wouldn't have had if I
You
hadn't been
hadn't
able
gone
to.
through that.
So,
Yeah. That's a beautiful way to
yeah.
look at it. It's always like that. Hey, that
Mm,
the darkness also helps to become the brightest light. Um,
yeah.
especially for others. So yeah, thank you for sharing. Thanks for making me cry at the beginning, but that's cool. I did bring
Uh,
Kleenex because I was like,
that's good.
I feel
Have a
like
sip of
I might cry.
mine.
So yes, so that's, I think that, says a lot about your journey, who you are, where having to like, as a woman, break through the fear of like, can I do this alone?
Mm,
And knowing though that you're not alone and knowing that you have had, beautiful people around you that love you guys and want to support you all the time.
yeah.
But still to take that first step is like, I can't
Yes,
even
it
imagine the
was
feeling.
wild. It was like jumping off a cliff and just
Yeah.
trusting that we'll get caught.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. And I do vividly remember that time and you in that time,
Mm,
and then to see you having gone through like such the depth of it all and the struggle of it all. And then you're coming out and you're just like this shining light that, I can feel, the strength of you. Yeah. It's come through
yeah,
on the other side. Yeah.
yeah.
So I think it's a good reminder for other women out there that are in the middle of the darkness,
Mm,
right? Or the middle of the choice that they made that's scary as shit.
you have to
Like,
sit in it and
yeah.
move through it. And
And know that on the other side is going to be lighter and brighter.
mm,
And I can say that for myself as well when I went through my divorce in my mid 30s. And then I was
yes,
like, oh. Cool. So all that stuff that I was hoping for, that's done and dusted. But
Mm.
little did I know that actually there's lots of things you can do after 35 or whatever it was.
Yeah. Life is not over at 35.
Society really does paint a sad picture for women, right? When we say
Mhm.
by 35 we're already like, "Ooh, we're out the door."
Past our prime.
Yeah, and it's so funny because now, especially since entering 40s and becoming a mom after 40 twice, it's like I just think that so much that was when it started for me.
Yeah.
When the divorce was final, when, I kind of moved forward and I was on my own doing the hard thing, but
Mm.
also like finding myself again and rebuilding and that was like where my true strength came from, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And making peace with maybe it isn't a mama. Maybe I'm not a mama. Maybe I'm not, and like
Mm.
really surrendering to maybe this is it. Let's make it as good as we freaking can, and I did. I did. I had some fun.
That's great.
And yeah, it was really a good time. And then yeah, it was really amazing to meet Craig, you know, late 30s and then have this beautiful, like almost like a second life.
That's right. Yeah. So
And
women
start over at a time when everyone says you're done. And I'm like, wow, it's amazing what happens after 40. So if you're listening,
just beginning. It's just
ladies,
begin.
just wait. Just wait, baby. Um, yeah. So I think with that, unless you wanted to say anything else about, yeah.
It's okay.
Um, so yeah, thank you for sharing that beautiful story. And so with the 40s thing, should we talk about this? Should we talk about our 40s? Um, I mean, I guess one thing we could speak to before that is I think one of the things that comes up for both of us and that was really, fiery or like brought us closer together, I believe, is um how do I say it? Like when I was pregnant with Cosmo, it was even before that, Kali. It was even before that. It was when I was like, am I gonna have a second baby? Am I too
Yeah, it
old?
was a maybe.
Yeah.
Is
And I
this
remember even like I actually had a memory the other day of being on the phone with you. I don't know why we were on the phone, which is weird because were you living here? Or maybe it was a voice message. We do a
Mm.
lot of that. We do a lot of voice messages. And I think we were going back and forth, and it was like around me. I remember vocalizing to you, and I don't think there was a lot of people I felt that I could, but it was safe to say to you, like, I do want this other baby. I
Mm.
do feel this second baby.
Yeah,
He
I
or
remember
she
that.
is like around,
Yeah.
and what I loved about Kali was like she believed me. She didn't make me feel crazy. She didn't like kind of go, oh, well, don't, like, it's a loving thing to do. I get it, but don't get your hopes up, like that kind of vibe. You
Mm.
never did that. In fact, you were like, all right, what are we doing? Let's go.
Yeah. How do we make this
Let's get that.
happen?
And I remember when I was trying to get my cycle back, because I was still breastfeeding Birdie, and I really didn't want to give that up. But I was like, oh, I want my cake and I want to eat it too. I want to have my other baby. And you encouraged me to do yoni steam, and that was like really pivotal because I think my cycle came back quite quickly after I started to steam.
Yes.
Do you remember that?
Yeah, I
And I was
do.
like, I think one day I woke up and I
Happening.
was like, whoa,
Mhm.
after I'd steamed. So yeah, just a note if someone's, looking to bring the cycle back, that's one thing that can be really beneficial, right?
Yes, it can be a tool. And just to add in there, Chrissy has a beautiful ebook that
Oh yes. Yeah.
teaches
Yeah.
women beautiful, helpful tools to
Yeah.
support you from a
It's
holistic
kind of
space.
witchy, but
It's great
yeah.
though.
I was like, it's the woo woo things, even though we don't think it's woo woo. But for some people, it might be
Mm.
like, what? Do you mean moon bathing? What's that? And yeah, yoni steaming, as well as a few other things in there that,
Mm.
probably when you go to the doctor, they won't prescribe it.
It's a little bit out of the box.
Talk to
Um,
your spirit babies.
yes. Get in cycle with nature,
Yeah,
spend time outdoors,
always. Yeah.
help your body find its rhythm again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the yoni steaming was cool. But I just remember, you didn't doubt that that was possible for me.
Mm.
You were very like, this is happening, babe. I remember you even just being like, really like, almost like you could feel it too. Like, I feel like this is going to happen. Like, when is this person coming?
Yeah.
And I remember you were the person when I talked to you about when I did miss my period and it didn't come, for a couple months. And I remember we were sitting once and I was like, maybe it's perimenopause. And I just remember you looking at me with this little smile like,
I don't know
I
about
don't
that.
know, babe. I just remember that
Um,
conversation. I always kinda sticks out for me
yeah.
because you could have been like, "Maybe," but you were just like, I don't know if I believe that one. And that was, of course, my fear of like, what if that person's here? Like, I think it was like that, you know, like, oh my God, is it real? It's
Yeah.
actually happened,
Yes. Yeah.
Because I think you were one of the first people that I kind of confided in that I didn't have a cycle for like,
Mm,
a couple months or
mm.
something. And then it was like, okay, maybe,
What's happening
maybe
here?
this baby has landed, which of course that's when Cosmo was around already. Um, and so then moving through, my pregnancy, which you spoke to yours with Billy, that's how I feel about mine with Cosmo, was like such an empowered time. Like, I swear I changed
Oh, it was incredible
everything.
to
Like,
watch.
I feel like
It.
something inside of me just went and I like took off and I was like Superman, but it was like Superwoman, little undershirt and and there was like fire coming out of me and I just felt there was something about that beautiful boy being in my belly that just erupted something inside of me.
Yeah. I watched it all unfold. It was incredible to watch the many different layers of Chrissy evolve, and you were just it was so beautiful to watch. She was walking like an hour and a half every day up the
Now at the
national
national park,
park
can you imagine me doing that now? I'd be
with
like,
his huge belly spent just out in the sun and just
yeah,
yeah, she was a
that's my little
powerhouse. There
ritual.
was no unstoppable.
Yeah, and I felt that way too most of the time. The first trimester, not so fun, a little, but like once we got past that, it was like, whoa, bring it on. There was so much power in that pregnancy, and there was a lot of things that came up. It was like Cosmo's presence for some reason it just made me question everything that I knew, and that's when I really started to talk about my his birth with you, and really like really talk about, is this what I want? Do I really want to have a midwife? Is this right for me? Do I really want to have
Mm,
these checks? Do I really want to have these scans? Blah, 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 all the things. And like every time I was like, no, I don't want any of this. I want to really sit in this full power and trust that I truly felt, and I felt it came from my baby as well. And Kali was very instrumental, as in, like, never telling me her own opinion, just always there to like listen and always there to. I remember you just asked me such really important questions, empowering
mm,
questions that made me think. And like really made me ask, like, yeah, is this the right path for me, or
mm.
do I do want to keep the midwife, or do I, you know what I mean? So and my midwife was beautiful. She was very loving and supportive. She was amazing. And yeah, so it was really the people pleaser in me was really triggered. It was like, hello, the little girl Chrissy had to like really get. Um, I had to look at her and be like,
Yeah.
how much more do we want to do this? I know it
Yeah.
served you, but now I don't think we need to do this. I'm
Mm.
45.
It's time.
It's time. And it was like, there was only one way to really address it for me.
Mm.
So, yeah, but Kali was really, that birth really brought so much out of me. And I think we both connected so deeply. Sorry, the pregnancy and the birth, which we ended up having at home with my partner and my daughter. And I elected to, release my midwife and I didn't, have other support there. And that was a whole other thing. So yeah, we won't go into that. That's a that's a different kind of podcast. But but yeah, so it was just like having someone that could like watch me and hold me in that, because I think it did trigger even other people that were closer to me.
Yeah, of
I think
course.
it was a little bit like, what is she doing? What's happening?
Mm,
And
mm,
a bit of like a doubt on what are you thinking? And it was big for my partner as well, of course, for Craig. Um, but to have you
mm.
there as like a pillar to just like know that no matter what I say, you're not going to judge me, you're not going to look down on me, make me feel silly for even thinking these things are possible, right? And that
Yeah.
was a big thing
Yes,
for.
we've both held each other through big decisions and events that have asked of us to make choices that are outside the normal, what would be considered the mainstream way
Yeah,
of living or choice of
yeah,
birth, or
we jump
how do you be
outside
a
that
single
box
mom?
every once in a while.
We do, and we question it, and
Mm,
And we just that like that's one of the main parts of this podcast or this sharing today
Mm,
is that we want to encourage women to remember that they can come back to their own
yes.
intuition and their own inquiry and
Yes.
ask questions and explore.
Yeah.
And we all actually just trying to feel where we most feel safe
Yeah.
and to have the right people that are brave enough to stand by you to ask those
Yeah.
questions and reflect it back
And not be triggered by
and
your
not be triggered
like
by,
changes or like the
yes,
fact that you are changing your mind or whatever.
that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think this came up yesterday or the other day, and it kind of ties in beautifully of like how we were speaking to there's no one right way for any woman. It's like it's all going to be different for each of us. Like it's always going to look a little bit different. Like your journey looks so different than mine. My journey looks so different than another, like there's and we've been conditioned, most of us have been conditioned that in order to be okay and to survive, we do need to conform.
Mm.
And we that worked for us at some point. We needed to do that, right? We had to survive and get food and like make sure we wouldn't get kicked out of the tribe. Holy crap. That was perfect at that time. And now here we are in 2026 and we probably need to let go of a lot of that. But we still get the pressure from society. Most women still feel pressured. Like I on my platform I share a lot about, motherhood later in life and I receive messages on the daily of women that are in their 30s that are being scared by doctors that, they're like sometimes not even 35, scared by doctors that they are already running out of time. And every woman's fertility journey is going to look very different. And maybe for some women, they might struggle in their 30s. But let's not put this extra pressure on a woman who's going through a huge life change plot twist that, oh God, you're already behind. Like, oh, look at you now. You're screwed. So
Yeah.
I think what I'm trying to say is that it's a beautiful reminder, your share and my share is that like every woman needs to do what is right for her and what feels right for her inner wisdom and her inner compass. And as someone who studied human design and like that's something that I'm really passionate about and we got to do your human design. That was cool because I feel like you really like tapped into it and utilized it. I
Mm.
feel like. Do you feel like I feel like it changed some things for you and you went, "Oh, this makes more sense now
Yes.
how I live and how I operate."
Well, it was another one of those moments of like, oh, I don't need to operate like all of the other women are showing me in their business or in their mothering. I can actually just tune into my own personality
Yes.
and how I thrive
Yeah.
and base my business and my mothering around that.
Yes.
And it was like human design gave me permission and showed me that why I was having those feelings coming
Yeah.
through and to really lean into that rather than try and squash that and
Yeah.
conform.
And try and do the hustle.
That's right.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
remember that. I remember when we met and I was like, "Oh," and it just made so much sense about just like even just your nature and the
Mm.
way you showed up in the world already and like really leaning into that more.
Mhm.
And so I think, that's one way that, that's one tool to kind of come back to the map of your own life and who you came here to be. Like I truly believe our souls chose a certain way that we came here to be. And so it makes sense that it gets confusing and a lot of people feel not aligned in their life, not sure of their own decisions. They don't know how to trust themselves. They don't even know how to hear their own intuition. It's like no
Mhm.
wonder we're so bombarded on the daily by external wisdom and information
Yeah.
constantly. If anyone has a phone, most people have one of these nowadays. And it's like this walking, like it has so much information that like being spewed at. And the minute you open it, no matter where you go, Google, chat,
Mm.
um, Instagram, Facebook, whatever, there's always going to be someone telling you a better way to do the thing
Yeah, that's
or
right.
this is the way I do it. This works for me. You should do it too. Now, there's nothing wrong with that because we should all share what's working for us. I think that's important. We should share our
Mhm.
stories as women. We should share like what we're doing today. We're sharing our stories. We're sharing what we feel has come up for us. But nothing in what we share today is like a trying to make a blueprint for any other woman because actually what we're trying to say is what you said already beautifully is that you have to come back to what is true for you.
That's right.
And
Yeah.
sometimes when we do that, we have to let go of the external.
Mm.
and letting go of our people pleaser self, that little girl inside of you that still wants acceptance and love because that's probably where it came from. Like you were more accepted, you felt more loved from your
Mm.
family or from, your community when you people pleased.
Yeah,
And that's really tough to let go of. Like we're in our 40s and we're still going, oh, right. Yeah, I'm doing that again.
that's right. Yeah.
But so it's like sometimes coming back to yourself looks like making other people uncomfortable, and it's not always comfortable. That's one of the things I always say is like, remember, it's not linear. When you're learning to let go of people pleasing and come back to your true voice, it isn't linear. It goes up and down. Like you might have a day where you're like, wow, I really heard myself today. I said no to this thing and I set a boundary. And then the next day you're going to have so much like regret with it. And then you go back to something. And then, so we do this, right?
Yeah, of course.
It's very much like the ocean. It's like the waves.
Mm.
So it's like you have to be compassionate. You have to be gentle and great and gracious with yourself, knowing that it will be painful sometimes. But I don't know, as someone, and I think you would agree, I won't speak for you, but like I feel like we both kind of would say it is 100% worth it on the other side to go through those uncomfortable feelings, to lose people along the way, to, have relationships and friendships go boop, 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 right?
Yeah,
Like, I have, like,
absolutely.
3 friends. I'm laughing, but Colleen knows
Uh,
it's true. I have a very
it's
select inner circle, and it's gotten smaller, as I've made, I guess, yeah, the choice to really, show up as me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it's so much. I mean, we're so lucky. We have so many beautiful opportunities and, the world of social media and how it opens our eyes to so much more than what's just in front of us in our
Yeah.
normal daily life.
Yeah,
And
for sure.
all of that beauty is there, but it's so easy to allow our energy, especially when we're younger, to be pulled in all those different directions
Yeah.
because we don't want to miss out on anything.
Yes.
And we feel like if we don't try all the things that, we're missing out,
Yes.
and it's so distracting
Yeah.
and it starts to weigh on your energy.
Mm.
Um, the wiser you get and the more clear you get on what truly serves you. And then it's this pulling back of like, okay, now I need to declutter my life
Yeah.
and my friendships and where my energy is going and get really crystal clear and
Yeah.
pull that back so that you can actually have the energy
Yes.
to give to the things in your life that
That really
really
matter.
sing to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that is wisdom with age, don't you?
Mm.
Like, even 10 years ago, I would have had so much energy output into things that now I
Yeah.
look back and I'm like, oh, what a waste. Like,
Mm.
I was wasting my energy, but I guess nothing was wasted. It was just lessons learned, like on people and
Right.
relationships and things
Yeah.
and even projects, that I wasn't getting the exchange back. So I think, yeah, I think it's really, it's actually one of the coolest things about getting older is that
Mm.
you just get so you just find such clarity, don't you, in like what's true for you.
Yeah.
And there's less, you know, without swearing, but there's less F's given. Like it's just like, oh nah, that's done.
Mm.
Right? Like it
Mm.
just gets easier.
It's a beautiful refinement process, I feel. And I mean, I can look back in my 20s and 30s and I've lost count of the amount of times that I can remember thinking back, why did I just do that thing? Like that was so taxing, or I'm
Mhm.
not ever going to do that again. Or, walking away from an experience or something that I've given and feeling that feeling of, oh, that took too much
Yeah.
from me,
Yeah.
but I did it anyway.
Yeah.
And I think those moments become less and less as you
Yeah.
become wiser and older and you've had more
Yeah.
experience and you just don't send your energy in those directions
Yeah.
anymore. You pull it in to what's truly going to serve you. And
That's right.
yeah,
Because your energy and your time is honestly the most valuable
yeah,
thing in your life, right? Your energy and your
yeah,
time.
that's right.
Um, yes. So speaking of, should I topic shift us? Also just checking the time because I know that okay, we're doing good. So speaking of the 40s vibes,
How can we not touch on
can we
hormones?
not touch on the 40s and and all the things? But one of the
Mm.
things that is very, you know, heavily discussed, and I think you could even say quite trendy right now, is to talk about the different changes that, which is actually, this is beautiful. More and more people and more women are becoming aware and open to the conversation of menopause, when a woman, goes through that very important rite of passage and life changes, body changes, all the things as she moves into this other chapter in her life. And I guess because sometimes I feel a little bit out of touch because in some of those conversations around perimenopause, which is what we were kind of one of the things we wanted to touch on today.
Mm.
Um, I do sometimes feel a little out of that world because I don't know. I'm still like, I just gave birth a couple years ago. Yeah, I'm 48, but like I think my body's like, we're we're doing baby stuff. And, I think my body's been like, altered a little to go into maybe it's in a different state. I don't know. Um, a doctor might say, no, you're definitely perimenopausal or something like that. But I'm breastfeeding and I'm sure there's like changes happening in my
Mm.
body. But sometimes I would be like, I don't know, I'm probably just also breastfeeding. And, I'm postpartum, but it's like over 2 years now. So I get confused sometimes because I see all these things on, the internet about all the reasons why you're in perimenopause and all the symptoms and all the things. And I personally have never ever felt attached to any of that or even connected with any of it. But
Mm.
it's come up in conversation obviously because I'm in my 40s and my some of my friends are in their 40s. And for you, we've talked about it quite a lot and what it looks like and how do we, what do we actually feel about the word perimenopause and actually what do we feel about how much it's being thrown around now and how, like I think there's this beautiful opening of the conversation, which for some women is like amazing because they're like, no one was talking about it.
Yeah.
No one was even talking about menopause.
Mm.
No one was talking about like what happens and how do you feel and what do you do? And so there's these wise women like Jane Hardwick Collins, by the way, like
I was going to mention her too.
witchy witch of all the witches, an amazing woman. If you don't know her, you need to check her out. She speaks so beautifully to this topic.
Mm.
But then you also have like every last person who's like sometimes I would say not even 40 some of these women and
Yeah,
they're like
late
and I'm in
30s.
peri I've got peri I had a hot night so I'm in perimenopause last night I was sweaty and I'm perimenopausal and I'm like what oh I don't know and I find it really tricky because then I'm also being bombarded with people who are still trying to have a baby and they are coming closer to 40 or they're in their early 40s and their doctors are like, well, you're perimenopausal, so you're probably blah, blah, blah. So it frustrates me because I think we're like, we've come into the middle and now we're swinging over here and everyone's perimenopausal and everyone should be on HRT. And if you have a symptom, like that podcast really triggered me the other day. And this doctor was saying on this panel about well, as soon as a woman presents with a symptom, she goes on HRT. And I'm like, whoa, like, but have you seen the list of the symptoms?
Yeah, it's so relatable to so many things.
Yes.
So what we were sort of saying is that been this huge wave on perimenopause, which is profoundly beautiful for women because now we're talking
We're
about it.
talking about it.
But then the social media world gets hold of it and runs with it like,
Yeah.
and all of a
Whee!
sudden everyone has a thing that's going to cure your perimenopause. And so as soon as you pick up your phone, if you're in your 40s or late 30s, that's one of the things that's going to come up in your face.
Yeah.
And it's very confusing and it's easy to jump on that wagon straight away and go, well, it must be perimenopause. So that's what I'm going to treat.
Yeah.
And the only way to treat that, from what I'm hearing, is to go on hormones straight away,
Hormone
or
replacement
medication.
therapy.
Yeah.
Yeah. HRT.
Antidepressants, all of those things that they recommend for women that are moving through that sort of season in their life.
Yeah.
And we were really shocked that's where they jumped to straight away. And that women that are still having babies, because women are having babies a little bit later now, like
Yeah.
health has changed and life has
Yes.
changed and women's
People are living
awareness.
longer.
That's right. You're doing business, you're doing jobs later, you're meeting your partners later.
Yeah.
So women's bodies and awareness is changing. and we have to move with that.
Yes.
And so there's women that are still trying to have babies
Yeah.
whilst also being told that they're in
You're Perry.
perimenopause
Yeah.
and given hormones to try and balance them. And what is that doing to us?
Mhm.
And not to say that that's not helping so many women and
Yeah.
everyone. What we are trying to say is that to not follow another woman's diagnosis and to
Yes.
really come back to your own biology.
Yeah.
For Chrissy, she's 48 and she only had her last baby 2 years ago. Like
Yeah.
that's a really different trajectory to some other women.
Yes.
We're all so different.
Yeah.
And yeah, to look at your life first, like your body as a whole,
Yeah.
and to treat even perimenopause, because in a way it's kind of it's sort of new in the
Yeah.
world
Yeah.
in that
But
way.
man, look at it. It's wild how
Yeah,
quickly it's gone. Like just everyone's talking about it.
viral.
Viral. Yeah. Perimenopause is viral. Good job,
It's happened.
perimenopause. You hit it. You hit your peak.
Yeah, but for women that are doing life or that have done life so naturally, and then all of a sudden they come to perimenopause and they get this like, oh, like how do I handle this?
Yes.
Um, Come back to treating your body as a whole
Yes.
and looking at the mind and how you're living your life, and are you moving your body, and
Yes.
are you eating well, and what were your 20s and 30s like? Were you burning yourself out, or have you been living in a balanced way?
Yes.
And it's like you get to this age and the body's alarms go off
Yeah.
louder,
Yeah.
trying to tell you that message that it's
Yeah.
time to make changes if you haven't
Yes.
already. And Chrissy knows I went through a big health,
Yeah. I was gonna
um,
say, do you want to
like
share a little bit about your health wave? I like that. I like that
went.
term. It was a wave of health.
Well, I guess because I had Billy, I guess it's considered late as well. Like I was 39 when she was a baby. I was a geriatric mom when I had Billy.
So funny.
I was breastfeeding when I was 40, when I turned 40.
Mm.
And
Old.
yeah, I was told then too, because I was getting some symptoms coming up, things like fatigue, anxiety, body aches, weight change, um, all kinds of like sleeplessness, digestive issues. There was a huge list of things.
Yeah.
Um, and of course, when I started to investigate this, I had some fear around it because I was like, what is going on with my body?
Mm.
Spoke to lots of health practitioners, both holistic and GPs,
Yeah.
and it was told several times that it was perimenopause.
Yeah.
And the effect that that had on my mind and my
Mm.
emotions, like it felt like I was like, oh, well, done. You're done now. Like, that's it.
Sure.
You're doomed. It's all
Yeah.
downhill from
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
This is what you're going to have to do.
Yeah.
And I started treating myself like I had perimenopause. I never did HRT, but I did other things in support of that I was treating perimenopause.
Yeah.
And I wasn't getting anywhere. And
Yeah.
I was just going round and round in circles. Nothing was getting better.
She tried so many things
Chrissy saw the whole
from
thing.
from a witness from the outside. I remember being like, damn girl, she's like on to the next, because they
Yeah.
were, yeah, there was always people telling you, well, do this, you should do
Mm.
this, you should. And what's cool is that Kali did try lots of things.
Yeah, I did. I
Like, I
did.
mean, I think that's great because you were like not satisfied with, what you were being given or what the formula was for you. Like,
Yeah.
this isn't right. Your body was going, nah, 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 this isn't it.
Yes. Well, also, all of my hormone readings were coming back. My bloods were coming back that my hormones were normal,
Mm,
normal, 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 and not
mm,
just the standard bloods, but a few different types of ways of testing.
yeah,
So I knew that my hormones were not out of balance to a
yeah,
degree that would be causing me to be perimenopausal
yes.
to that stage. And something just clicked one day that I was like, this is not what's happening for you. You need to look deeper
Mm,
and stop looking outside of yourself for the answers, because the answers you're getting, in your body that that's not the right thing.
yeah,
It might
yeah,
be a small, tiny piece, but there
yeah,
was all these other things going on.
yeah,
And so for me, I actually think it was like deep nervous system um, a fracture
yeah,
and, like too much pressure, too much stress through like my breakup and that change of life
yeah,
and raising a baby on my own and
yeah,
still working. And I was burning all of those
yeah,
candles. And it took some time for me to realize that I needed to do repair work and also start to change some of the ways that I was living and being.
yeah.
And once I made that realization, and I found a beautiful chiropractor actually who guided me in that with my nervous system, literally 70% of those symptoms have gone.
Yeah.
So the symptoms that were labeled perimenopause
Yeah.
are now gone,
Yes.
and I'm feeling my body coming back to its full health again.
Yes.
Um, so the
Yeah, I think
message
that's
to
a really
whoever.
yeah, I mean, like, I feel like we should shout that from the rooftops. It's
Mm,
like, was it harder work maybe for you? Because you did do a lot of digging and you tried a lot of things and you didn't go for a quick fix.
mm,
That wasn't in your nature and your body wouldn't have probably let you do it anyways. Been like, "Nah."
yeah, you
You
just
know,
know.
so you went through quite a lot to get to this point where you're at now where you're like, I've tried all the things. This is wrong. I've tried this. This is wrong. Okay. This person
Mm,
says this. Okay. I'll try this. And then you found this, yeah, this beautiful practitioner that really clearly kind of went, well, this is why this is out of alignment for you. No wonder your body's struggling, you know?
yeah.
And probably because we are so used to things like having to be really hard or having to take all the things and take medication to make something better. Cause that's what we're taught is the way to fix stuff. You
Mm,
know, it's beautiful that your body was like, once it got back in more in alignment, thanks to this chiropractor, it was like, all right, actually, it's not that hard. You know, and I
yeah.
loved that. I thought that was really cool because you were like,
Yeah.
you could feel it straight away.
I could. She held me the way that, yeah, she just showed me, reflected back as my mirror, like, this is what's happened to your nervous system.
Yeah.
It was probably also a layer of postpartum depletion,
Yeah.
um, and some hormone change, but not to the stage where I'm in full perimenopause and I need HRT. That was not what my body was needing.
Yeah.
And I think that that's such an important question for women in their
Yes.
late 30s and early 40s to start asking themselves, like,
Yeah. Do I really need
yeah. And
this
if you
medicine
have
that
young children, could it actually be a little
a
bit of
detriment?
depletion rather than
Yes.
hormonal
Yeah.
shift?
Sorry. Yeah. I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think it's just so like typical of, medical system to go, all right, this and this. Oh, you got these two symptoms. Here you go. Here's your prescription
Mm.
because they're not going to look at the holistic, they weren't looking at your whole life. They didn't ask you what happened to you the last few years, Collie, that would actually make you very fatigued and
Yeah.
anxious, and that would stop your energy from moving through your body. Like, what are those things? No one's going to ask you that when you go into a GP, right?
Mm.
Or like, how are things going in your, how are you feeling stressed? And but
Mm.
these are all the things. These are the things that, like, our bodies are so wise. And I'm not saying that, like, you know a woman who's struggling with like heaps of different symptoms or like she's been struggling for months that she can just like stop, ask her body, and then she'll know the answer. But I do feel like dumbing it down, but I think in some ways, yes, we can. Our
Mm.
bodies are always trying to talk to us. But what happens is we don't listen to them for however many years in our life. Then we do get to our 40s and they're screaming at us and then they kind of just shut down a little bit, don't
Yeah.
you think? Because
Yeah.
they're like, all right, I've been telling you this for about 10 years and now I'm done.
Mm.
Right. And
Mhm.
unfortunately, then that's when the GP goes, well, that's just perimenopause.
Yeah.
When if we look at like lifestyle changes or, yeah, less stress or getting support with your children or whatever it is that the woman needs, So I think I love that you share that because I think it's such an eye opener for a world that is obsessed with quick fixes
Mm.
and trendy fads.
Mm.
Because, if your influencer that you're following tells you that HRT has made her life like 1,000 times better, it's hard to ignore it, right? Like, it's hard when you
Yeah.
see those sorts of things, which I have
Yes.
seen out there.
And maybe it did for her,
Maybe it did. Yeah,
and
exactly.
but that's her biology and her journey,
Yes.
which may be different to yours.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think what you're saying is perfect, is like,
Mm.
ask the questions first. Don't just allow that one person, that one, doctor, or even, someone that's really well studied and whatever it is, it's still good to ask the question of yourself, like to really tune in. Does this feel right for me?
Yeah.
You know,
You know
to,
your body better than anybody else,
yeah.
and I think too, like, the wiser women in our community, like Jane Hardwick Collins, says that perimenopause and menopause is your body's way of showing you anything that you haven't dealt with previously in your life, in your more
Mhm.
maiden years, And coming into your wise woman years, this is your time that your body is going to tell you what you need to let go of, and it'll show up in symptoms.
Yeah.
So, do we actually need
So
to
why?
like band-aid those symptoms away
That's what I was gonna
and
say. It's
pretend like we're
Band-Aid.
not getting older? Or do we embrace it and find ways to support the body through that
Yeah.
so that we can still experience the growth from that journey
Yeah, exactly.
without completely blanketing the whole experience
Yes.
with medication that's going to change and stop the
And
process?
stop it. And almost like, you know, like it's like someone might lose that rite of passage.
Mm,
Like they won't
mm,
actually move through it in a way that probably is really important for her, right? Like
mm.
to not have that experience. Like I think also when you say that, it makes me think of like, yeah, there's going to be things that come up. I know for me even that are uncomfortable, things that I probably didn't deal with that, are going to come smack me in the face at some point in the next 10 years or whatever. And I guess I'd just rather move through it and grow from it and actually feel it and experience it because I just feel like it'll make the rest of my life even more rich and
Mm.
I'll just be even more like a wolf basically. I just had an image of a wolf. That's why I said that. The
Just
wolf Chrissy was coming through, but she has to move through the uncomfortable stuff,
yeah,
right? To get
yeah.
to her wolfy version where she's out free and feral and like doing all the things.
Yes. In tune and brave and strong
Yeah.
and lived,
Yeah.
and able to lead and help guide the women younger than us because she's owned
Yeah.
all of the layers of herself in confidence rather
Yeah.
than, I think there's a risk with perimenopause of us like being dampened and squashed in our spirit and
Yeah.
our strengths as women because it's telling us that we're weak or that we're depleted,
Yeah.
that we're no longer of use to
Yeah.
society.
The
Use the
expiration
old
date has
fashioned
come up.
version. Yeah.
Yeah.
When really it's the opposite.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, I love that. I don't know, it's like I don't know if you feel this way, like, the older I get, like, I know I'm getting older and I can see it. I'm like, "Look at me 5 years ago." I'm like, "Fuck, I looked so young." But, like, the older I get, not necessarily in my face that I feel but, like, I feel like, I don't look it, but I'm like, I'm like, "I don't feel old."
No,
I don't feel like I know I'm getting closer to 50, which seems wild, but I'm like, I feel younger for some reason.
because
How does this work? I don't know.
you're living your truth more and
Yeah.
living, with what's aligned for you rather than trying to please everybody else in
Yeah.
society and
I think that is a big part of it. Yeah, like
mm,
really I think because I'm more aligned
yeah,
than I ever was.
it's freeing.
And I thought I was so aligned even like after my divorce and I was alone and I was single and I was like just yoga, 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 and like time for myself. And oh my God, the free time, right? Like the free time
Mhm.
before babies. What? What is that? That's wild. I remember thinking, like, looking back, thinking, I thought I had like a lot going on, but I thought I was really strong then,
Mm,
and I was. But now I look back at her and I'm like, oh, she was still so like green and not as probably not as embodied as I really wanted to be embodied, but I don't think I really was yet. You know
yeah,
what I mean?
yeah.
Like I was like embodied in a way, but I think it was a little bit of like, I'm gonna try this on, but I don't really know exactly how to embody what it is that I am,
Mm, mm,
until, coming through some other, harder times and then also just, like becoming a mother.
yeah,
Becoming a mother
yeah.
was what really threw me into being more myself and more embodied. And even at the
Mhm.
beginning of motherhood journey, I remember trying on different versions because like on Instagram, everyone looked really like, I don't know.
Put together.
Yes, put together. And I'd like buy all these like linen dresses and nothing wrong with linen. But, anyways, I don't have that anymore in my closet because that's not really my vibe. But like I tried it on, and I tried all these things on. And it was just like, it took a little while, right? To like
Mm,
come into the true, like, the essence of, oh, okay, I am a little bit like rough around the edges. I'm not very polished actually. I do like to swear and I do, like wearing things that maybe people think 25-year-olds should wear, not 45-year-olds. You know what I mean? Like all these things that I'm just like, fuck it. I'm gonna own this and I'm gonna be this woman. And I thought I had that 10 years ago, but I don't think she actually had
Mm.
arrived until, just recently.
Yeah.
Since maybe even Cosmo's pregnancy with Cosmo.
Yep.
Yeah, all that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I think I went off on a tangent. I don't know what I was trying to I think I was going somewhere with it. But yeah, I feel like the essence of what we're kind of talking about, and we'll come back to it, is we're not like anti HRT. We're not saying that at all, but we are just bringing up like ask be be your own, what's the word? Like really ask the questions
Be your
of
own.
your care provider,
Mm.
of whoever's advising this. Like ask the hard questions, like make them, tell you what do you really mean? Why are you telling me I should do this when I'm 38?
Mhm.
And like talk to other women, talk to the wiser women, the ones that have actually moved through it, then that maybe didn't go the way that is kind of pictured as like what we would call like the norm or mainstream.
Yeah.
Like be curious, I guess, be really curious. It's so good to stay curious. Hey,
Yeah, and autonomous.
and
You know,
autonomous.
it's
Yeah.
it's a big it's a big wave of that in pregnancy and birth now, and
Yeah.
we all know about that pendulum swing out there too of, which way is the way to birth and which way is the safe way. And
Yeah.
I really do think it's the same with perimenopause. It's another big
Yeah.
life-changing
Yeah.
journey, and you can't just jump on the wagon of what everybody else is doing and
Yeah.
expect amazing results. It's about really tuning into your heart
Yeah.
and your own compass and what your body's doing,
Yes.
and find the people that support that individually
Yeah.
rather than just, following the grain.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And I think because as women, we are these like l- we literally bring life to the world. Like we literally are portals for life to come through. So I mean, that's pretty cool. And but we're then, I think, taken this we have this power, this innate wisdom and power,
Mm,
right? That only a woman can have. And unfortunately along the way, I think people were scared by that power.
mm,
And so there are many um systems out there and things in place that take that from women quite quickly too, right? When we
mm.
think about even as we come into our first bleed, even as we come into like, we're given birth control straight away to sort things out. And we know that doesn't, go well for a lot of people to be on that. And, there's a lot of consequences now that women are finding out that that actually wasn't the best, way to do it. And so it's like it just keeps showing up, right? And then, as soon as you're like as soon as you like fall pregnant, what's the first thing we're taught to do?
Seek outside
Go
ourselves.
find out if the
Yeah.
doctor says you're pregnant. Yeah, go outside of yourself
Yeah.
to find the answer,
Mm.
which is we kind of you kind of giggle a little bit like it's funny that somebody else has to tell me that I'm pregnant. But I understand also, we've been very conditioned to then go, all right, now tell me what to do. Right.
Yeah.
And so I think what you and I are just kind of saying is that along the way, it's not wrong to receive support. In fact, it's very important, especially for a woman who's like, this feels safe for me to go to this doctor.
Mm.
Perfect.
Mm.
But it's like along the way, make sure you're asking the questions. Make sure you're coming back to your inner knowing and your inner wisdom because it's very easy. And I did it with my first to give away the power and to give away my inner knowing. I did. Yeah, for
Mm.
sure. With her birth. It was just like I got backed into enough corners at that point. It was hard enough to be, pregnant in my 40s and then some things came up at the end that now I don't believe were even real. But, I did get back, I felt like I got backed into a corner based on fear, right? Like the fear,
Yeah. Yeah.
the fear dialogue is real in the medical system. And I get it. They're just playing really, really safe. But it was enough to be like, all right, here, fine. I'll do the thing you're saying,
Mm.
which is probably why it went a bit different with Cosmo because I was like, take that back. I'm taking that back. So I think that's what we're saying is that along all these rites of passages for young women up until into menopause, let's just keep being curious, right? Let's just keep talking to each other about it. Let's ask the hard questions. Let's ask the questions that make people uncomfortable.
Yeah,
Right? Because that's how we'll continue to stay in tune with our own wisdom
that's right. Yeah.
and not like and not do the thing that I think a lot of people want us to do, which is just do the thing that other people are doing. Do the conform, be
Mm.
safe. Don't draw outside the lines too much. Like that makes other people uncomfortable and then what happens if other women do that, And I think that's where you and I kind of see eye to eye. It's like let's be those women that sometimes color outside the lines,
Yeah, that's right.
to show that
Yeah.
there are other ways over here that you can do it.
Mm.
And actually you can have more autonomy and be in your power.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And I guess, just like birth has had a way of being slightly over medicalized out there, and we're slowly reclaiming that back as more natural ways, and that's been
Yeah.
a roller coaster to get to that place of re-educating
Yeah.
ourselves
Absolutely.
about birth
Yeah.
and natural physiological birth,
Yes.
and it's the same with perimenopause, I think, and menopause. It's like it
Yeah.
has been over medicalized to a degree again.
Yeah.
And now we're finding the swing back of like, okay, that's great that we have those resources
Options.
there.
Yeah.
But do we all need to do that? And are there
Yeah.
other ways to manage and actually thrive through that
Yeah.
experience rather than, yeah, the opposite?
Yeah.
Mm,
Yeah. Beautiful.
mm,
Yeah, I love it. Um, is there
yeah.
anything else that you want to
To add.
add or bring up or speak to? Do you want to talk about dating in your 40s? No.
Oh. I'll
I
wait
was
till
like,
I
can we
have
talk
some.
about the dating apps? No.
I'll wait till I have some success first, and
Yeah, yeah.
then
Let's come back to we'll circle back.
we'll circle back to that. I guess like I just wanted to share again that the main like theme and undercurrent of this has been because our both of our work lines of work or what we offer the world, it exposes us to a lot of women in a lot of different experiences coming from a lot of different places, and the very current theme for both of us in our line of work is that women are coming to us asking how can they do this differently,
Mm.
and why am I giving away my power and my autonomy and my ability to choose and think for myself in these situations?
Yeah.
Why has that been so tricky?
Yeah.
How do we get that back?
How do I trust myself
How do I
again?
trust myself?
Yeah.
How do I feel safe to choose what I want to choose because I
Yeah.
know it's right for me,
Yeah.
and be able to stick to that.
Yeah.
And so we wanted to use those big life experiences like divorce, separation, motherhood,
Yeah.
birth, and perimenopause life changes because they're the ones that it usually comes right back up in our faces.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
we're getting lots of questions about this all the time. So
Yes. Yeah.
we're on repeat about come back to what's right for you,
Yeah.
come back to listening
Absolutely.
to your heart, come back
Yeah.
to informed decision making and getting all
Yeah.
of your information before you make a choice for yourself. And
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah, that's perfect. It's kind of like just this overarching theme of our conversations all the time, I believe. Like I had a human
Mm,
design reading with a young mother last night, and I was sharing with Kali just not about the details, but just like the actual, even though we went into her chart and I was giving her some more like human design chart vibes and specifics, actually, all we needed to do was talk about that it's perfect for her to not do the thing that some of the other people in her life were expecting her, family members. It's okay for her to really
mm,
trust her inner wisdom because she was
mm.
like, I can hear it. But then she would just get scared and the mind would take over. And our minds
Yeah.
are so tricky because they're trying to keep us safe, right? The subconscious is like, whoop, that's scary.
Mm.
Let's back away from that. Nope. I know your body
Yeah.
said yes, but we no.
Yeah.
That's going to put us in risky situations. So
Mm.
it was this beautiful, like, I just felt like at the end I was like, "Oh, we did touch on human design," but it's almost like we didn't need to. She just needed the remembering, which is what I think most women need, whether it's about human design or whatever it is in birth or whatever it is, pregnancy, is that remembering of your own inner voice and your own inner wisdom,
Mm.
which is speaking to you always. That's the beauty
Mm.
of it. Like your inner voice is always talking to you. But what happens is that for me, what gone through life and there were points when I just turned it right down and all of the people's voices around me went way up, right? Like the external noise was way louder than my own, like, hello, Chrissy. Like she was like,
What about me?
are you so yeah. What about me? And I'm
Uh,
like, I think I hear you, but I'm just gonna go over here because, this person expressed this of me. So it's just like this beautiful for all women. I hope that any woman listening to this that just like has been struggling with with knowing what's right for her and with trusting her inner wisdom that
mm,
to not doubt that voice and not and to continue to let it show up. And it's like we said earlier, it's not linear and it's not easy when you're going from constantly like kind of doing what the others around you expect or say you should do, and then trying to dive into your own living your own,
mm.
you know through your own autonomy and living your own inner wisdom. It's not like overnight. Okay, let's just, it's not overnight. We know that. But it's a beautiful practice.
It is,
It's a
yeah.
practice every day to come back to, I think you wrote it really beautifully on your notes. She said, um, sit at the feet of your own heart, right? And I think that's such a beautiful expression of what we're kind of saying is like, what does my heart actually say? What is my heart speaking? Um, and you can do this with love and care. It's not like we're saying like, you have to be a bitch and like F off everybody. Like, I mean, sometimes that works as well. We know that, but like, it's actually, you can do this with grace and with love and care. And it's okay that other people don't always understand as well. Like it's
Yeah,
okay that other
yes.
people can't always walk with you if you do make those start to make those everyday changes and like really tune into yourself, as I think
Mm,
we've both seen,
mm.
that it will sometimes it feels lonely.
Yeah, because 'cause you're shutting out the external influences, and we're so used to being surrounded all the time,
Yes.
and that means that, we're successful and thriving and popular if we have all of this
Yes.
surrounding us all the time. But sometimes it takes a you need to really step back and
Yes.
create that spaciousness to be able to actually hear what's going on internally
That's
and
right.
reuse that muscle again,
Yes.
like re-strengthening that muscle.
Yes, it is. It's like going to
Yeah.
the gym after not going for like a few years
Yeah.
or however long it's been. And I think to add to that is like we have been taught that to get information overload is the way to be.
Mm,
Like to receive information makes you more wise, more informed is better. But is it like when there's so much information out there, your poor little brain, we weren't designed to like know all this stuff really.
no, that's
And then
right.
it's so confusing, especially as women navigating some really vulnerable times of our
Mm,
lives with, divorces and wanting to fall pregnant later in life. And there's so much like I open my Instagram sometimes and I'm like, oh, la, la. It's like that's like the sound of like 50 people talking to you at once, like, la, 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 like a crowd yelling at you. And,
yeah.
even for me, it's been a practice of being like, all right, shh,
Mm,
what do I really need to hear today?
mm.
Like, where am I going to place my energy? Do I want to listen to that person's spiel on blah, blah, blah? No, probably not. So I'm just going to get rid of that. So I think it's just like making these beautiful everyday choices that help us to become more in tune with that voice and more aligned in our life. And then I think I do believe that the universe sees this and there's just like this beacon that starts to shine on you. I know, sounds so woo woo, you guys, but like it, I do picture, and I always say this in my human design readings, like the more you get aligned with your design, I actually feel like it lights you up and the universe goes, whoa, that person, that soul is like, they're ready. They want all the
Mm,
things now,
mm.
like before it was confusing. They weren't, you weren't telling the universe what you wanted. It was like, "Ugh, I don't know, because I'm not living my design." But as you start to be more aligned in who you truly are, I just feel like it lights you up and you become
Yeah.
more magnetic, and then, the word manifestation is is pretty trendy, or it was. I don't know. Is it, maybe it's not cool anymore, but like it's like I do feel like the manifestations come
Yeah.
faster
Yeah, you
when
start
we
to
are
attract.
truly in line with the heart and with
Mm,
our truth.
mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, you start to attract more of the same. Um,
Yeah.
that's in resonating with where you're at and what you're trying to achieve.
Yes,
It can,
that's right.
yeah,
Yeah. Which
yeah.
is, as we both seen in our lives, is really cool to witness that. Yeah,
Mm,
I know you've experienced that.
mm.
This has been so beautiful. I mean, we could talk for 3 more hours, you guys, but I don't know. I mean, I know my husband listens to like 3 hour podcasts. There's people out there do that, but maybe we won't do that because we have to go pick up our children and do things.
You're probably busy mums as well, trying to
Yeah,
multitask
we're gonna
this.
go do some other mama things now, but yeah, this has been really beautiful. It
Yeah,
has really filled up my cup, and
same.
I really hope that anyone listening is, feels supported in this conversation. And if there are any questions, please shoot them our way. I plan to put this up on, all the different platforms. Um, where can we find you, Kali? Like if someone's interested in working with you or wanting to know about your work, where's the best place to go?
Sure. So you can find me on Instagram at birth_nectar. And also, I have a website, www.birthnectar.org. So you can find me there.
Awesome.
We'll pop
Beautiful.
it in the notes.
Yeah, we'll definitely
Yeah.
put it in the notes so you can contact Kali for anything. So yeah, thanks guys. This has been super beautiful. And I look forward to, maybe we'll have to dive into some other topics like dating in your 40s
Like
and
dating
things
in
like
your
that.
40s.
Yeah, we're going to circle back to that one though, she said. But thank you for joining
Okay.
us. It's been beautiful to sit here with you. And
Mm.
yeah, I can't wait to connect more with everybody.
Yeah. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Bye.